guys, learning your phonemic chart in your CELTA course can feel overwhelming. Don't worry, I've made this series of videos to help you learn your phonemes in your own time, so you can feel more confident teaching your language students and improve your tutor feedback. If you have any questions, feel free to visit pastorcelta.com and I'll be glad to help you out. Good luck in your CELTA course. So let's look at the consonant sounds at the bottom of the IPA chart. I'm not going to do these individually, as I've done with the vowels. Instead, I'm going to do them all together now. There's a reason behind that. First of all, there's a lot of them. And secondly, you probably won't find yourself using them quite as much as you use the vowels, because it's usually the vowels that the learners get mixed up about. Okay, the way this works is, the bottom section of the IPA chart is actually cleverly put together. The first sound, p, is unvoiced. The second one, b, is voiced. The third one, t, is unvoiced. The fourth one, d, is voiced. And they're in pairs. So we have the unvoiced and the voiced version of the same, I guess the best way to describe it would be as the way that you need to use your mouth to produce those sounds. So, p and b, you're using your mouth in a very, very similar way to produce those sounds. Now, it gets really, really difficult when I'm on the microphone or when you're in class trying to tell your language learners how to say the consonant sound p, because they're not going to hear you. So traditionally, a lot of people use the schwa vowel sound after the unvoiced consonants so that they can properly project what the consonant sound sounds like. So instead of saying p, they will say p. And instead of saying t, they will say t. And instead of saying ch, they will say ch. And I think that makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of people out there who will nitpick and say that's not the proper way to do it. But really, as teachers, we're not really interested in the technically precise ways to represent these things, in the sense that we are not phonemic linguists. We're here to get the students, to get the language learners saying the correct sounds, producing the correct words, and ultimately communicating in the target language. And if we can do that by bending the rules a little bit, then I'm all for that. So now we'll quickly go through the consonant sounds. There's a lot of symbols there that you will all be very, very familiar with because they're taken from the Latin alphabet. So for example, p, b, t, d. Use the Latin letters p, b, t and d to represent those sounds. I'm not going to draw those because everybody knows how to do a p, a b, a t or a d. But as we progress through the consonants here, there are some symbols that are probably less familiar to English writers. The first one is ch, as in cheap. And this is represented by what looks to be the Latin letter T and what looks to be the Old English S that you sometimes see in archaic textbooks. Like that. Ch, as in cheap. Our next one is j, as in jeep. J. And j is represented by a Latin D, and then what looks to be a 3 that's lowered. J. K, G, Th and V you'll be familiar with because they use the Latin letters K, G, F and V. So let's move on to th. Th. Th uses a circle with a line through it. I think that's traditionally theta, but we should start to think of it more as the sounds and not the actual characters we're using. So this is th, th, as in thin. Th. Now this is easily confused with the next one, which is the, as in this. And this is represented by what looks to be a flowing D with a cross through it. The, as in this. Our next sounds are s and z, which are represented by the Latin letters S and Z. Our next one is sh, as in shop or sheep, and this is represented by that symbol that I showed you before. Sh, as in sheep. Our next consonant is j, as in Asia, and this is represented by what looks to be a 3. And some people write their Z's like this normally, which is fine. The thing to notice about this is that if we write a word, this lower part, this tail, goes below the line. So, for example, I'll write the word Asia. Asia. So you note how the lower part of the j sound goes below the line. The next consonant is m, n, which are represented by the Latin letters respectively M and N. Our next consonant looks like an N, but it's not a N. It's quite difficult to say this on its own actually. I will try. It's It's better when you put it in a word like song. It's a very, very soft N, I guess is the best way for me to describe it to you. Try saying the word song. 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 We don't pronounce a hard N there. Okay, and it's represented by what looks to be a Latin N with a long tail, like a J, I guess, attached to it. And then we have h, l, r, and w, represented by the Latin letters H, L, R, and W. The final consonant sound is y, as in yes or yacht, and this is represented not by a Y, like you might imagine, but by the Latin letter J. Y, yes. So, if we were to write yes, we'd do so like this. So that's the phonemic script for the word yes. So I do hope this has been useful to you. Please be sure to check out our other videos in the phonemic chart series for help with vowels, as well as tips on how to best incorporate phonemes into your lessons to demonstrate your skills to your CELTA tutor, and of course also help your language learners to improve their pronunciation. Remember, you can watch these videos on YouTube, download them to your computer, and even brush up on your phonemic chart via your smartphone on the way to your CELTA classes. For more tips and support, visit passthecelta.com. Thanks for watching, and best of luck in your journey in becoming a CELTA qualified teacher.